microphone in. Hey, bro, microphone's plugged in now, ready to go. Let's go ahead and get this rolling and have a good time. So, let me go and pull the video up on my. How strange is that? It's not coming up. Rup, rup, rup. Did I make this? Let's see who's here. Hold on. Your channel. There it is. There it is. Hey, Master Far, thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. So this is a little bit of a review, but kind of fun. I thought, what the heck? It's a Sunday night. Let's just get into something fun. Hey, John, thanks for joining us. Let me go ahead and do a sound check. Hey, Master Far, thanks. There we go. And you guys see how far my delay is now. Hey, Santos, thanks for joining us. What's up? I was sitting here. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a video again on Wonder Bread He-Man, or people would like to call him all different names. So let's go ahead and get the elephant out of the room first of all. So let's have some fun with this, okay? I happen to have. Let's go into my books here, and it's on my Kindle. Where's Kindle? There it is. And let's see. There it is. I don't know if it would be in part 1 or part 2. Let's take a look and see. I'm going through my Masters of the Universe book, part 2 right now. I don't know why the pages aren't loading correctly. There we go. Table of contents, throwing the lines, interview with Scott. Classics. Okay, it's going to be in book 1. Okay. Let's go and go to book 1. Book 1. All right. So, I don't want to tell you what I think of the book yet. I am still in there in the middle of it. So let's go ahead and search. Where is the search function in here? It's got to be somewhere. Okay. Okay, for those that use the Kindle, where is the search button on here? I recommend this book, about this book. You think it'd be like just a magnifying glass just sitting on here. I can't believe there's no simple magnifying glass on here. Oh, we'll just go through and see if they got. It's probably, I don't know what they'd call it under, if they would actually have it under. Let me take a look at you guys' comments and see if some of you guys have an idea of what they might call this figure. I forgot the name that they called it on He-Man.org. They had a different name for it. Burr, burr, burr. Nothing like not coming prepared. Let's take a look and let's see. Oh, come on, comments. There we go. Why not make a Masterverse version of Hebrew or Wondar? That would be kind of cool. Hey, Ryan, thanks for joining us. All right. I guess they didn't call him Barbarian. We'll go look under W's. What the heck? Let's just fast forward this. We're in the M's. We're in the S's. In the T's. Chapter 2, too far. All right. International productions. or a variant. Oh, Mystery of Salvage He-Man. There we go. There is the Mystery of Salvage He-Man. And there he is. So what's interesting about this figure, and right here he has the name. There's one figure that has long puzzled He-Man fans, is Savage He-Man, aka Wonder Bread He-Man. Known for over 20 years, fans have pondered the history of this toy. And we know we've seen a video that came out recently from Toy Guru that said they found a letter from a lady that said her He-Man figure from the mail-in did not come with any accessories, and she was disappointed with this figure. So we figure it's from the coupon that they had in the store for buy 3 figures, get 1 for free. But what's funny is back in the day, Wonder Bread gave out some He-Man cards inside their bread, and everyone just thought that was the He-Man promotion. And so people just assumed that's why it was called Wonder Bread He-Man, because they thought that they gave out a figure. So, as you guys know, this figure is well sought after. In fact, I posted something on my page just the other day that someone was selling for like $6 grand. $6 grand. I remember when they were $600. I thought, well, that's way too much. Now $6 grand? Are you kidding me? I would say a different word, but you guys know I don't swear on the show, and I try not to swear in person either. So it is ridiculous how much that they ask for this figure. It is crazy town. Anyway, so let's talk about how to make your own. Now, first of all, they gave us this cool $1 figure back with Classics. I think this is the first official figure they released. And they have the Wonder Bread symbol on his back of his jetpack, on his Zodak pack. Now, whether the real figure, the Savage He-Man, or whatever you want to call him, Barbarian He-Man, or Conan Ripoff He-Man, or Wonder Bread He-Man, I'm going to stick with Wonder Bread He-Man. That's what I've known him as forever, even though he was not made by Wonder at all. And I do know that. I just like to call him that because it's kind of a fun name to call him. He probably didn't come with this armor, and may not have came with any accessories at all. But a lot of times people would stick on the black armor that came with the weapons pack, and they would give him weapons from the Manny Faces pack. So that's why a lot of times you will see, and they might have thrown in weapons, the Manny Faces pack, also in the figure. I don't know if they did or not. According to the lady's letter, it didn't sound like he got any accessories. So I'm guessing that he never had any maroon weapons he actually came with, but I could see them doing that. And it seemed to be random in the pictures you see in the past. Now, Mattel made fun of this and gave us this little piece of, or not piece, but this little loaf of bread, because obviously it's Wonder Bread He-Man, the Wonder Bread symbol, the Wonder Bread. It would have been cool if we came with a little package to put the Wonder Bread into. I suppose I could make one. Wouldn't be that difficult to make. But anyway, and then at the same time, there was Spy Monkey Creations that had this cool toasted Wonder Bread shield that I bought, and kind of fun. You know, it looks like it's toasted, and it has the symbol on there from his chest, and that's pretty cool. And so one of the things I did with my Wonder Bread He-Man is I wanted to use the Zodak armor to put on a Zodak to make a black armored Zodak. So I had a $1 left over with no armor, so I stuck on Prince Adam vest and called him Wondar the Barbarian, being that he was at $1. Now that fit pretty good. So this is Wondar the Barbarian, not to be confused with Thundar, his brother. So I thought that was kind of funny. He wanders around. I'm wandering around, Dar. Anyway, so you didn't come here to hear about my whole history of the Wonder Bread He-Man stuff. So I want to eat a sandwich now, Pop Actor. I wonder if the classic Zodak armor will fit Masterverse. That's a really good question. You know what? I happen to have an extra one right here. We'll try it out in a few minutes. But let's talk about how I made this figure. Then we'll go ahead and throw this onto some figures to see if it will fit the Masterverse, just for fun. So if you want to make a $1 He-Man, there's a few problems you have to overcome. And depending on how you decide to fix those problems becomes an issue. So here's a regular He-Man figure. And of course, $1 has brown underpants, black belt, brown hair that's usually leans towards more greenish brown than reddish brown if you were to see a real one, and then black boots. So the first thing you have to do is decide how you're going to make this work. Well, the hair is easy. You're just going to paint it. That's the easiest part, right? Boots, same thing. You're just going to paint them. That's easy too. But the underwear or the furry shorts is the hard part, because if you just paint the furry shorts and you move his leg around, it's going to crust off all the way around. Or if you have somebody look inside, they're going to see, oh, wait a minute, the original color you used for this figure was actually red and not brown. So I knew this guy. You guys probably remember him too. He was a Kodo Customs of the Universe, and he made a Wondar figure, a few of them, and actually cast these in brown, and it looked amazing. The guy did a really good job making sure that he matched everything possible he could, even the right belly button, the right gap in the shorts right here, and even made sure he had the right name on the back. So he had all the right parts to make it. Now, mine are not that authentic looking, and I do that on purpose. I don't want anybody to be fooled to think that I actually have a Wondar. That's not the reason for it. So someone says, Pop Actor says, get Fisto shorts. Fisto shorts is the right way to go. Now, there is more than one Fisto they released. They released one with a dark purple and one with a lighter purple. Now, if I'm going to make a new one, I would have gone and looked for the darker purple one. It's even darker than this I've seen. Really dark, so it's as close to black as you can get. And this way you'd have the right color shorts inside. You can see this Fisto's been replaced with the O-rings a long time ago. So this was my half in between getting ready to turn another figure into a Wonder Bread He-Man. You got some crud on your chin there, dude. That's what I get for throwing them in my scrap pile of figures. Anyway, so basically you take a He-Man head or a Prince Adam head, you stick it on a Fisto body, you still have the swoop spring action, you swap out this arm, put black Zodak armor on him, paint this belt black. Now when you paint this belt black, you want to take some blue tape. Let me show you this cool technique. Technique. It's all about the technique. Now, when you paint, it's really easy to slop the paint in places you don't want it to be. I mean, I've done it. Everyone's done it. It's a pain. But if you have to worry about slopping paint on both sides, on the top and the bottom, then you have more issues. So what I do is I take this tape and I rip off a little piece and I actually slide it into the gap just like that. Let me zoom this up so you guys can see what I'm talking about there. Let me get a better angle on here. There we go. And you just slide it into the gap just like that. And once it's slid into the gap, you just fold the tape up. And you do that all the way around. And this will give you a really nice spot to not accidentally get paint. And it's really easy. You can just turn the waist so you got more area to get inside there. And again, just slide it up in there. Oops, sorry, my hands are in the way more than not. There we go. Turn the waist. And while you have them turned, just slide it up in there like that. And then just put the tape up there. And this way you only have to worry about the bottom half not getting the black paint on it, because your top half is nice and masked off. And again, you just continue that all the way around. And slide this under his belly. Under my belly. Just like that. Do the same on the other side. And once you get that slit underneath there, you just wrap it all around. And now you got yourself a way to make sure that you don't get paint on the upper torso at all, the black. That's a great way to mask it all off so it's ready to go. And again, just when you're really careful painting the bottom half, I would slop the paint on the top all the way around, and then I'd get a super small brush, some really good high quality glasses to zoom in with your eyes, and then I'd paint that line right around there as close as you can to not cause any problems. And then after that, I'd take some tape and I'd wrap it around the bottom and then hit it with some clear spray. And I'd take a baggie and put this over this part of his body like that's the baggie protects the rest. And I'd put a baggie over his legs. That way I don't get overspray on anything else. I wouldn't spray this black, just the clear. And that works really good. I wouldn't try to mask this ahead of time before you paint it black. You're going to end up not masking it as well as you want, and it's really frustrating. All right. So, there you go. Origins Fisto was easier to paint. Yeah, with Origins, you could just literally pop it off. But Origins gave us one. No reason to even customize one. But if you did customize one, yeah, just popping it apart and painting it. You can pull the legs off and do more paints that way too. It makes it really easy. You still got crust in your chin, man. All right, so the next thing is the arm. Let's see if I can pull this arm off. Come on off. There we go. Now, when you go to replace this arm, usually I heat them up to pull them off, but I will fake it this time. So you could just pop this arm back on, but if you do, it's going to have the crazy fist action. Now you can leave that if you want. It's kind of fun to have that crazy fist action going on, so you can pull his gun. Wachoo! But when I made one for Bobacon, I literally took a hot pin. I think I'd used a paper clip, a big thick one, and peeled it off. And I heated it up super hot with my heat gun and melted it in and shoved it through the arm and into the body at a top high angle and down at an angle. That way then it totally immobilized it so it couldn't move anymore. Now I could have probably glued it instead. I think I may have added some glue too, I don't remember. But I definitely ran a metal pin in there. And then I made sure it was, once the metal pin was in there, it was still loose enough so you can see it can still move even though you're past that point because it doesn't have this centerpiece to keep in there. Now, the bad part is you want to take and make another cool figure with this. You have to take some needle nose pliers and break that out of there so it can work on another figure. Now, I want you to notice something else, which is really weird when you use Fisto. Ooh, I hate doing that. Is the arms are two different sizes. Notice Fisto's arm is actually bigger around than He-Man's arm. In fact, Fisto's torso is actually bigger around. You can see the difference of how it hooks up is actually bigger than He-Man's. So you will notice if someone used a Fisto because the torso will actually be bigger than He-Man's torso, just a little bit. So that's the thing that's interesting too. You can see the left arm, of course, is actually a He-Man arm instead of a Fisto arm, and it doesn't quite fit right. A Fisto arm is actually bigger and has a closed fist than a He-Man arm. So you can even see even the left side's the same way. The shoulder is quite a bit more massive on Fisto. You can see the shoulder runs right into the bicep, where on He-Man it cuts in deeper. So that's what's so crazy about Fisto is he actually has larger arms than He-Man does, and also a larger chest middle area. And I wonder if that was for aesthetic purposes because he's cool, he's big and strong, or if that is because the mechanism inside takes so much space that they had to give it more room to fit that mechanism. I don't know what the real reason was, but that does cause some issues with your figure that will always be noticeable. I'm just going to leave this off because he's going to be Wonder Bread He-Man someday anyway. So let's take a look at this one that I built. And what's cool is I took the $1 package from Mattel, and when I cut this, I cut it towards the top, and then I just took another figure and cut it towards the bottom. That way I have a resealable box to put them in. And somebody had the idea, they told me, just use your $1 box for your original custom. It's like, that's a great idea. So here is my $1. And you can tell he's fake for a number of reasons. One is his hair color has a little too much red in it. It may not be easy to see right here, but when I've looked at other $1, it has more of a greenish brown to it. And so there you go. And then obviously you can see the shoulder right here. The shoulder is bigger here than it is for his arm, which tells you I used a Fisto body. And really easy to tell on mine is I left the spring action. Chunk. As I really like the idea of him being, and you can see because of that I can actually work it past it and have it be at a different spot than where it's supposed to be. So that's kind of cool too. So now he can do a quick draw McGraw, and you could line his hand up where you want it and then pull it back and whatcha, which would be actually a really cool feature for Zodak to have him a quick draw feature, you know, where he comes up and da, da, da. You know, it'd been a really cool figure to do for Rio Blast for one of his buddies or partners or some cohort of Rio Blast. I had to put him back in the box. I got to twist his arm extra far, Master Far. All right, and let's put him back in there. And let's look at your guys' comments. Why didn't Mattel do a forearm cast like the vintage? Hey, Charles, is going good. I think the reason why this arm is different is because they want him to hold a sword, and with his fists like this, he can't hold a sword. So I think that's the reason why this one has an open hand that doesn't hold his sword anymore because of years of wear and tear. Hold your sword, man. Hold it, grasp it firmly. Oh well. He ain't gonna hold it. I'm surprised they didn't make him as one of the commemorative figures, to tell you the truth. He's not in my top 11, but he is one of my favorites. He is really cool. Not my top 11 favorites, though, but he is, you know, pretty close. All the figures for Origins don't... Why didn't Mattel do the forearm cast like the vintage? I know what you're saying. Why do they all have these cuffs right here instead of this cool arm piece here? Which is funny is, if you ever take a look at this arm piece, this arm piece is reminiscent of the Big Jim toys. And when I was a kid, I had Big Jim Wolfpack. I got to show you now on my iPad. Let's look at Big Jim Wolfpack. All right, the wolf leader. It's time for me to spread some learning. All right. Big Jim Wolfpack. Okay. There it is. Now, it was on his right side, and it was removable, and you can see that cool little feature on there, which is very reminiscent of what He-Man had. In fact, when I first saw that on my He-Man figure, it kind of made me chuckle because it reminded me of Big Jim right off the bat. I mean, it's not exactly, because Big Jim's is technical and does all kinds of cool stuff, but it's kind of the same kind of dilly-bobby as going on there. And so, you know, and a lot of Big Jim stuff is and He-Man has a lot of commonalities, things they did in the past. So it was pretty cool. Look at that Big Jim pack. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, he was a cool figure. I remember I had him. I thought he was cool. Anyway. Yep, firmly grasp it. Yep, just don't ever take SpongeBob fishing with you when you're injured in a wheelchair. Jellyfishing. All right, so I think that's all I got pretty much. Let me look at your guys' other questions before I jump off. I had something else to share about Wonder Bread He-Man, but I cannot remember what it is now. I went through all these figures here. I ripped off his arm there. I showed you the Wonder Bread. Oh, the armor. That's right, the armor. We're going to see if the armor fits on a Masterverse figure. Where did I stick those Masterverse figures? There they are. Got some wood in the way. Got a Hordak figure in the way. The Streaming Sun in the way. Oh, I got all my Sunman figures in the way. Sunman, no. Fit. I already got something there. Okay, go over here and fit. There we go. All right. Well, I can almost guarantee it will not fit on this awesome He-Man here. This one's way too big, but let's try it anyway. We'll try it with the big guy first before I pull the other guy off my shelf. Gotta lose your shield, man. Not the shield. Not the gumdrop shield. Let it go. Let's go. There we go. So I gotta put his hands forward. I'm so used to doing the other ones where their hands have to go backwards for stuff. For the vests and whatnot. Alright. Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Yeah, I can't even close the bottom. His waist is so much bigger around than the old figures. All right. While you guys stare at this, I'm going to go grab my other He-Man off the shelf. He's like an elf on the shelf, but it's a He-Man on the shelf. Hold on. All right. so let's try this guy. Now this guy is actually a bunch of different figures mixed together, but he does have the original He-Man Buck from Revelation, even though I gave him a different head and painted his different parts. There we go. Now I did put an Origins armor on him, so I'm guessing if the Origins armor fit, I'm guessing the $1 armor is going to fit too. We got to just work this past his waist. I think when I put it on, I pulled his legs off, but we're not going to go through all that trouble today. We're just going to do a little bit of stretchy. So you may ask yourself, why did Hebro stick on the Origins armor on him? I wanted the original symbol on his chest, not the weird new symbol that matches the battle armor that's done upside down. All right. Geben Sie deinem Armor. Oh! I'm sure this is going to fit. If this does not fit, I'll really be surprised. Oh, it's a tight one. Wow. Okay, let me loosen this first. Let me do the bra straps right. Let's lower it all the way to the bottom. Okay. Looking at this, you could make it work. It's really tight. I'm not going to do it though, as I don't want to stretch it because I'm going to make a Wonder Bread He-Man out of it. But if you heated it up and you stretched it, it would work. Now, it might come up on his belly while you're doing it a lot, but you could make it work. It's so close. Again, I've stretched armor further than that. Make sure when you stretch it, you don't pull this little pin. You're going to snap it right off. You want to pull from back here and from back here to stretch it. So you want to hang on to these two ends here, heat it up, and then stretch it. Don't pull from the part that it hooks to, and don't pull from the bump. You're going to break or snap this, or you're going to pull this right off. So you want to pull from the thick parts. And then when you heat it up and pull it, then stretch it around and connect it. And then once you connect it, let it cool down. And then last, hook up these top pieces. And they may not totally connect, but at least you can get them through the holes. So, and the nice part is once you connect them and you then do it while it's still hot too, I guess actually, then you kind of stretch it around. Yeah, that should work. And again, it's going to sit like a half t-shirt, so it's probably not the best option for it. Let's go ahead and try Wondar's and see if his fits better. I'm thinking his will fit better, so you may not have to go with the old 80s one. You might have to just get one of these. These bodies are just a little bit bigger than He-Man's body from the 80s, so this might just work. And they're more rubbery too, so it may work all around better. Also too, I can feel that these plugs are a whole lot thicker and stronger. You take a look here, you can see the difference between the original 80s one is like super thin and small, and the other one is a lot thicker, so better chance of it not snapping on you. And on the other end, you can see the knob on this side is pretty big and beefy, while the knob on this side is just barely hanging on by a thread. So again, the $1 armor that we got with the Origins is a whole lot better for stretching. Oh yeah, it doesn't fit, but you could easily stretch that. I can feel that rubber. You can just pull it right over now, not even heating it up. Just stretch that right around. And then just line it up. And because it's rubber, you can kind of put it where you want it and it will stay, as opposed to the other one being kind of a hard plastic. There we go. So you're going to want to get yourself a Wonder Bread He-Man $1 from the Origins line for your black armor. It's not perfect, but it does work a whole lot better than trying to use the 80s one. Now, of course, they did already make armor for this size. It's red, and that might be the best bet, is just to get yourself a Zodak from the new line, Masterverse, and just dye it red with your red dye. That'd probably be the best thing to do. That would really fit perfect. And it's probably a lot cheaper than trying to buy Origins Wondar. My pineapple bra is killing me. You gotta stop shopping at Victoria's Secrets. It's funny. I seen this meme and I loved it. And it shows this guy and he's taking this woman's bra off, and she says, "How are you so handy with bras?" And it shows a picture of Skeletor, and I showed my wife that, and she just started cracking up. Because when we first got married, I remember the first time I saw her bra, I was like, "That's like He-Man armor," and she just kind of cracked up at me, because you know, it was. I didn't mean it to be funny, but she just cracked up. She thought that was pretty funny. So there you go. Now you guys know way too much about me. Man, his hand's holding that loose too. Surprised I don't lose all the weapons. And of course, I stole one of my wife's hair ties to use it as a way to keep the gun on there so I'm not losing his accessories. Even though there goes his sword. It's like a wooden sword. You could see someone using this for like doing a play or something. A Shakespearean play. All right. There we go. Now to slip all these armors back on. Let's see if I can't stretch this back on to my custom He-Man. Custom He-Man. Yeah, it's funny. I remember when I made the Wonder Bread He-Man for Bobacon. It was so cool. It's a store, one of my local stores that sell He-Man figures. And it's fun. Every time I go in there, usually somebody at the store usually yells, "Hebro's in the house," and it's fun. They're great people. And so I showed them mine first because I brought it in one time, and the owner goes, "Oh, can you make me one?" I said, "Okay, you supply all the figures, and I will make you one." And so he supplied all the figures. Then when I brought them in, I brought back all the leftover pieces. And one of the workers there goes, "Oh, can I make some cool custom Fisto out of the rest of the pieces?" And he handed them to him, and he ran to the back of the room, all excited to make his custom Fisto-looking kind of guy. There we go. Oh! Here is how you dress your dollies. What? They're not dollies. They are action figures. It's funny. When my wife wanted to really annoy me, she would call them dolls or something just to get my goad. It was funny. But I used to say things to bug her too. One of her pet peeves she really hates is when I say, "Don't worry your pretty little head about it." And sometimes I'll say that just to annoy her, and it's funny. And she'll be like, "Oh." Oh, I said, "Oh, don't worry your pretty little head about it." Now she just looks at me and just kind of laughs and smiles because she knows. She knows. Squeaky, squeaky. You're probably wondering, why is he doing this on camera? The reason I'm doing it on camera is I'll never get around to doing it later. After I stop the video, I'll run in the other room to go watch television. I guess I could leave that tape. You know what? That's a bad idea. I forgot. If you leave tape on too long, it'll leave residue. I'll redo it when I'm ready to paint, and I'm probably not going to make this guy for a couple more years. So let's just pull it off now. I have no reason to make one right now. So I will just pull the tape off. It's the one-arm bandit. I might as well stick his arm back on. Squeaky, squeaky. Yep. Is there a way you can make a custom Adora? You know, that would be really hard to make. I've seen some guys do it online and they do a really good job. I personally don't have a lot of She-Ra figures to make them, so I would not make a custom Adora, but I've seen some really awesome ones made. And besides that, as you guys know, I am a classics guy. And I have the most awesome Adora right here. Now, granted, she does have granny panties because I messed up on that. One time I did make a custom Adora where I took and rounded these, made it look less like granny panties. It looked really good, but they were just a little bit too high. So it looked kind of weird, like she was wearing some super mini skirt. Which is funny is because when they made her, they actually curved the pants under her. And you can see they did a really good job. And for some reason, they didn't curve this as well. But the main thing is once you cut these round, and then that problem goes away. It doesn't look so much like granny panties. But besides the granny panties, this is a pretty awesome Adora figure. And I'm sure not classics, Masterverse is going to give us a figure soon. I'm surprised they didn't do more She-Ra with Origins. You know, I mean, they gave us a She-Ra figure and that was it, but no Adora, no other characters. They gave us Hordak, but Hordak is more of a, I know in the cartoon it was for She-Ra, but it's more He-Man stuff, so. After 43 years, He-Man grew inches and got rejuvenated to a 19-year-old kid. There you go. I've come up with the best version of an original He-Man head that isn't custom. Gnomsky, share that on in the lounge so we can all see. That'd be cool to see. Your custom He-Man needs a barber. What you talking about? Yeah. But then again, you take a look at the old comics, and He-Man was sporting the long hair. Very, very Tarzan looking. And I've always liked the Tarzan He-Man. In fact, come on. It's time. I was going to end the video, but now that you've brought it up, you're like, wait a minute, I didn't bring nothing up. The long hair has to be addressed. So let's go ahead and take a look at the comics. Now, it stinks is they don't tell you which is volume 1 and volume 2 until I click on them. So let me go ahead and click on this one first. It's probably volume 2. I think they have volume 2 first. Oh, volume 1. Hooray! Hooray, hooray. And you can see, look at that. That's pretty long there. Sporting the yellow hair. That's some pretty long, lengthy hair there, Mr. Tarzan He-Man. Let's take a look. Oh, I'm way ahead. Let me jump back. Jump back to the beginning. Oh, yeah. There he is. Tarzan He-Man. As a kid, I used to love Tarzan, watching it in the 70s before He-Man came out. There's this one Tarzan actor. He was huge. I don't know how many movies he was in, but he was like my favorite Tarzan. He was awesome. Did you see the video I posted on the lounge? I'm not sure, Charles. Oh yeah, Greystoke was pretty cool too. I'll have to check out that video, Charles, and see which one it is. Wow. I didn't realize Alfredo was your dad. He did amazing work, as you know. You probably heard it your whole life. My 4 favorite comics, the first ones. Ugh. Yikes, arms popping off. That is so cool. Thank you for joining us. It's an honor to have you here. Yeah, amazing artwork. All right, you guys, thanks for joining us. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, and I will see you guys next video. And good journey. Bye now.